My girlfriend said, "You're lucky I'm with you. Most guys couldn't afford me." I laughed it off then, thinking she was joking. But a week later, my bank alerted me to charges I didn't recognize. Designer gifts, hotel bookings, all under my name. Turns out she'd been spoiling her ex with my money. So, I gave her one last gift, her own bill, and a goodbye she'll never forget. I'm 35, and until about 6 weeks ago, I thought I had a pretty good thing going. I'd been dating Courtney for just over a year. We met at a charity gala that my company was sponsoring. I work in commercial real estate development. She was there with some friends. She was beautiful, confident, and had this energy that made everyone in the room pay attention to her. Looking back now, I should have paid more attention to some of the things she said early on. About 3 months into our relationship, we were having dinner at this upscale steakhouse downtown when she made a comment that should have been a massive red flag. "You know," she said, cutting into her filet mignon, "you're lucky I'm with you. Most guys couldn't afford me." I laughed, thinking it was some kind of joke or playful banter. "Oh yeah? What's your going rate?" She didn't laugh back, just gave me this serious look and said, "I'm not cheap. I have expensive taste. I need a man who can keep up." I brushed it off as her being dramatic. Courtney worked in fashion marketing, was always talking about brands and trends and the importance of presentation. I figured she was just very conscious about aesthetics and lifestyle. I made good money, enjoyed nice things myself, so I didn't see it as a problem. Over the following months, our relationship developed a pattern. She'd mention wanting something, a new handbag, dinner at an exclusive restaurant, a weekend trip to wine country, and I'd usually make it happen. I liked spoiling her. She made me feel successful, like I'd achieved something by being with someone who appreciated the finer things. But about 2 months ago, things started feeling different. She became more distant, always on her phone, frequently unavailable on weekends. When I asked about it, she'd get defensive. "I have my own life, you know," she'd snap. "I can't be available 24/7. I wasn't asking you to be. I just wanted to know if you were free for dinner Saturday. I have plans with friends." "Again?" "That's the 3rd Saturday in a row. Are you keeping track of my schedule now?" "That's controlling." I backed off. I didn't want to be that boyfriend, the insecure one who couldn't let his girlfriend have her own social life. But something felt off. The real bomb dropped 3 weeks ago on a Tuesday morning. I was getting coffee before work when my phone buzzed with a fraud alert from my bank. Unusual activity detected on my credit card. I pulled up the app immediately. There were charges I definitely didn't make. $1,500 at Gucci, $2,200 at Louis Vuitton, $800 at some boutique hotel downtown, all in the past week, all on my business credit card that I kept in my home office. My heart started pounding. I called the bank immediately to report the fraud. The representative asked me to verify some details. "Can you confirm your home address, Mr. Peterson?" I gave it to her. "And are you currently in a relationship or living with anyone who might have access to your cards?" "My girlfriend has been staying with me on and off, but she wouldn't—" "Sir, I'm seeing a pattern here. Most of these charges were made in person, not online. Someone had physical possession of your card." I felt sick. I left work early and went home. Courtney wasn't there. She'd mentioned something about a spa day with her sister. I went to my office and checked where I kept my business cards. My primary card was there, but my backup card was missing. I started going through my credit card statements more carefully. Once I knew what to look for, the evidence was everywhere. Charges going back almost 4 months, designer stores, expensive restaurants I'd never been to, hotels, jewelry stores, thousands and thousands of dollars. I called the bank back. "I need statements for the past 6 months, every transaction, every location, every detail you have." They emailed them within the hour. I printed everything out and started mapping the pattern. Most of the charges were on weekends, specifically the weekends Courtney said she was busy with friends. Then I noticed something. Several of the hotel charges were at the same boutique hotel downtown, the Meridian. I called them. "Hi, I'm calling to verify some charges on my credit card. Checking in under the name Peterson? One moment, sir. Keyboard clicking. Yes, we have several reservations under that card. Most recent was this past weekend. Would you like me to email you the receipt? Yes, please. And can you tell me, was it a single room or double occupancy? Double occupancy, sir. The reservation notes indicate it was booked for you and a Ms. Courtney Lewis, though the guest registry shows check-ins under Peterson and Hayes. Hayes. That name hit me like ice water. Trevor Hayes, Courtney's ex-boyfriend that she'd supposedly broken up with 6 months before we met. The guy she claimed was completely out of her life. Update 1, I didn't confront Courtney immediately. I needed more proof, and I needed a plan. I spent the next 2 days documenting everything. Screenshots of charges, hotel confirmations, receipts. I even drove to a few of the stores and asked if they remembered transactions on specific dates. One boutique manager actually remembered because the amount was so high. Oh yes, a young woman came in, blonde, very fashionable. She was shopping with a gentleman, picking out items for him. Men's watches, a leather jacket, dress shoes. She used a card and he seemed very happy about it all. Do you remember what he looked like? Tall, dark hair, athletic build. They seemed very comfortable together, if you know what I mean. I knew exactly what she meant. I also hired a private investigator. Not cheap, but I needed confirmation. He followed Courtney that Friday when she said she was going to her sister's place for the weekend. Instead, she met Trevor at a wine bar downtown. They had dinner. They went back to the Meridian Hotel, my credit card paying for the room. The investigator got photos of them checking in together, laughing, his arm around her waist. She was wearing a dress I'd never seen before, probably bought with my money. I had everything I needed. Saturday morning, Courtney came back to my place around 11. She was in a good mood, humming as she dropped her overnight bag by the door. Hey, babe, she said, coming over to kiss my cheek. Miss me? We need to talk, I said calmly. Her smile faltered. About what? Sit down. She sat on the couch, trying to maintain her composure. I stayed standing, my folder of evidence on the coffee table. I got a fraud alert from my bank 2 weeks ago, I started. At first I thought someone had stolen my card. Turned out I was right. Someone had, just not a stranger. Her face went pale. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't. I opened the folder and spread out the statements. I have every transaction, every hotel booking, every designer purchase. I know about Trevor. I know you've been seeing him behind my back and using my money to pay for everything. She stared at the papers, her mouth opening and closing. Then her expression hardened. So what? You have plenty of money. It's not like you couldn't afford it. I actually laughed at the audacity. That's your defense? That I can afford it? You always said you liked spoiling me. I liked spoiling my girlfriend, not financing your affair with your ex. There's a difference. It's not that simple. It's exactly that simple. You stole my credit card. You spent over $40,000 of my money on your ex-boyfriend, on hotel rooms where you were sleeping with him. That's theft, Courtney. That's fraud. She stood up, trying to look defiant, but I could see the fear in her eyes. You're not going to do anything. It would be too embarrassing for you. Try me. Trevor and I have history. You knew about him when we started dating. You can't be that surprised. I'm not surprised you're a cheater. I'm surprised you're also a thief. But I guess they go hand in hand. She grabbed her purse. I'm leaving. You should. And Courtney, check your email in about an hour. She paused at the door. What's that supposed to mean? You'll see. Update 2. After Courtney left, I executed the plan I'd spent the past week preparing. First, I sent her a detailed email with every transaction highlighted, every hotel booking confirmed, every photograph the PI had taken. I attached a PDF invoice itemizing everything she'd spent, totaling $43,718. The subject line, "Your bill." The email read, "Courtney, attached is a complete accounting of all unauthorized charges made on my credit card over the past 6 months. This includes items purchased for yourself and Trevor Hayes, as well as hotel accommodations for your affair. You have 30 days to arrange payment in full, or I will be pursuing legal action for fraud and theft. Consider this your only warning and your official goodbye. Don't contact me again." I also sent a separate email to Trevor with the same documentation. "Trevor, thought you should know your girlfriend has been funding your relationship with stolen money. Enjoy the gifts. They cost me $43,718. Hope they were worth it." Then I called my lawyer and filed a police report for credit card fraud. I knew the chances of criminal prosecution were slim given our relationship, but I wanted it on record. My lawyer also prepared civil suit papers. Within 2 hours, my phone started blowing up. Courtney called 17 times. I didn't answer. Trevor called twice. Blocked. Courtney's friends started texting, calling me cruel and vindictive. I blocked them too. Then Courtney's sister Rachel called. She was the only one I answered because Rachel had always been decent to me. "Jake, what the hell is going on? Courtney is having a complete meltdown." "Did she tell you what she did?" "She said you're overreacting about some spending." "Rachel, she stole my credit card and spent over $40,000 on her ex-boyfriend. Hotel rooms, designer clothes, expensive dinners, all while she was supposedly dating me. That's not spending. That's fraud." Silence. Then, "Are you serious?" "Completely. I have bank statements, hotel confirmations, photographs, everything." "Oh my God. Jake, I had no idea. She told me she was staying with friends those weekends." "She was staying with Trevor. At hotels I was unknowingly paying for." I don't even know what to say." "Does Trevor know?" "He does now. I sent him the same evidence." Rachel sighed heavily. "She's going to lose her mind. She can't afford to pay you back. She's already in debt from her lifestyle." "That's not my problem anymore. She made her choices." "What are you going to do?" "Depends on whether she pays me back. If she does, we're done and I move on. If she doesn't, my lawyer proceeds with the lawsuit. She doesn't have that kind of money." "Then she should have thought about that before committing fraud." We talked for a few more minutes. Rachel apologized profusely, said she'd try to talk some sense into her sister. I appreciated it, but wasn't holding my breath. Update 3. The next 2 weeks were chaotic. Courtney tried everything to get me to drop the demand for repayment. She sent tearful voicemails apologizing and begging for another chance. She sent angry texts calling me heartless and cruel. She had friends reach out claiming I was being excessive. I responded to none of it. My lawyer handled all communication. Then Trevor called me. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me. "What do you want?" I asked. "Look, man, I didn't know, okay? She told me you guys broke up, that she was single. Convenient. I'm serious. She said you were her ex, that you dated months ago but stayed friends. She said you were helping her out financially because you felt guilty about the breakup." I actually laughed. "And you believed that?" "Why wouldn't I?" She seemed genuine. We had history. I thought we were getting back together for real this time. "So what changed your mind?" "When I got your email, I confronted her. She admitted it. Admitted she'd been playing both of us. She's been bleeding you dry to fund our relationship and telling me lies about where the money came from." "Sounds like you both got played." "I broke up with her. Told her to lose my number. But man, $43,000. I had no idea it was that much." "Well, now you do. Enjoy the wardrobe. I'm boxing everything up. The clothes, the watch, all of it. I'll send it to your address if you want. It doesn't feel right keeping it. That actually surprised me." "You don't have to do that." "Yeah, I do. I'm not a thief. I didn't know it was stolen, but now I do. I'll send it back." "Appreciate it." "For what it's worth, I'm sorry." She played us both. He hung up. A few days later, several boxes showed up at my door. Designer clothes, an expensive watch, shoes, accessories, all the stuff Qley had bought for Trevor with my card. I donated most of it. Meanwhile, Qley's 30-day deadline was approaching, and she hadn't made any payment arrangements. My lawyer sent a final warning. Either she set up a payment plan by the deadline, or we filed the lawsuit. 2 days before the deadline, Rachel called again. "Jake, please." "She's broke. She can't pay you back in one lump sum. She's terrified you're going to sue her." "She should be. She committed a crime." "I know, and I'm not defending what she did. But could you accept a payment plan? Something manageable?" I thought about it. I didn't actually want to spend years in court over this. "Fine. She has 48 hours to propose a realistic payment plan. If it's reasonable, I'll accept it. If not, the lawsuit proceeds." Qley's proposal came via my lawyer the next day. $1,500 a month for 30 months, starting immediately. It was the most she could afford on her salary after rent and basic expenses. My lawyer said it was probably reasonable given her financial situation. I accepted. The contract was drawn up, signed, and notarized. She made the first payment within a week. Final update. That was 6 weeks ago. Qley has made 2 payments so far, on time, both times. My lawyer says as long as she keeps paying, we won't pursue further action. If she misses a payment, the full remaining amount becomes due immediately, and we proceed with the lawsuit. I haven't spoken to her since that conversation on my couch. I blocked her on everything. She tried to reach out through mutual friends a few times, but I made it clear I had no interest in any relationship with her. Not friendship, not closure conversations, nothing. Trevor actually texted me once more, a few weeks after everything went down. "Hey man, just wanted to say thanks for not including me in any legal stuff. I really didn't know. Hope you're doing better. I appreciated that." He seemed like a decent guy who got manipulated. We're not friends, but at least there's no animosity. As for me, I'm doing well. The whole experience was a wake-up call about paying attention to red flags. That comment about being lucky I could afford her, that wasn't a joke. That was her actual worldview. She saw relationships as transactions, and I was just an ATM. I've been more cautious about dating since then. Taking things slower, watching for warning signs. One of my friends set me up on a blind date last week with someone who works as a teacher. We had coffee, talked for 2 hours, and she insisted on splitting the bill. It was refreshing. I think about Qley sometimes, not with anger anymore, just with this kind of detached disbelief. The audacity of what she did still amazes me. To steal that much money, to maintain such an elaborate lie, to feel entitled to someone else's resources while betraying them. It takes a special kind of broken moral compass. My lawyer says she's still making payments. 28 more months to go. Every month for the next 2+ years, she'll have a reminder of what her choices cost her. That's enough revenge for me. I don't need her to suffer or fail. I just need her to pay back what she stole and stay out of my life. The $43,000 she took, I'll get most of it back eventually. But the real cost was the time wasted and the trust damaged. That's the part that actually hurt. I thought I was building something real with someone, and instead I was just being used. But I learned. I documented everything. I protected myself. And I made sure there were consequences. Not out of spite, but because actions have to mean something. You can't just steal from people and betray their trust without any accountability. Qley wanted a man who could afford her. Turns out, she couldn't afford the consequences of her own actions. And that last gift I gave her, the bill, the goodbye, the reality check, that's something she'll be paying for long after the money's repaid.